cat in the wall, eh? Okay, now you're talking my language.
Do you ever drunk Baileys from a shoe?
Oh, great. Thanks, Mother, for replacing the baby aspirin with LSD.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw?
Welcome in to the View from C-Deck, Week 9, one of the best weeks in college football. And I'm just Matt, and I'll be landing in Indonesia right when everything kicks off Saturday. But here at the Haas to preview all the games this week, get our gambling thoughts out there. I went 4-1 last week to make up for my 0-5 week the week before. I think you went 1-4 again, though, last week, Jason. Come on, man.
Yeah, this is not my forte. I will. I'll stick to watching the Guardians blow it.
And blow it they are. But we'll have to kick it off right away here with the Buckeyes, since this is a Buckeye podcast. Laying 25.5 now, but we had 24 when we were making picks. And our man, the Haas, I believe, not the Haas, you're the Haas. The Dire Wolf, who's not pictured again today because he's a loser and isn't a real fan. He's picked the over-under on this one and picked the over 48.5. I like that pick a little bit, but I said under on our podcast, so I say under and Nebraska covers for this one. What do you have, Haas?
Yeah, I'm laying those points, and I'm taking the over because I like Royal. I like to turn the ball over, and they don't have playmakers to really burn us and keep up with our offense. Saw what IU did against them, so they should be gassed. I could see us just beating the crap out of them.
You very well could be right. I just think coming off the bye week, we're not always the sharpest, so I'm kind of leaning on that. Friday, everybody's Heisman favorite, Ashton Jeanty, going to UNLV, which will be one of their toughest tests left. Both teams 6-1. Boise State laying 3 over/under of now 65.5. I'm going to give myself that because I picked it at 66.5. But I'll take the over because UNLV's played several Friday night games. They've had one game that was low scoring, and the others were like in the 80s combined. Boise State's defense isn't great, but their offense is obviously unstoppable with Mr. Jeanty. So I'm going to take the over there for that one.
Yeah, the over seems like the wise pick, but I'm gonna go with the under here just because I can do it.
Asshole.
Yep. Yep.
just to go against me.
Yep.
Now, Ashton Jeanty, is he going to break Barry Sanders' records?
You would have to think so, and he's not even playing the second half. Like that's that's what people also don't realize. They want to give the Heisman to other idiot quarterbacks, and they don't realize this dude's doing these numbers in one half of football.
Yeah, he's being a stud. I mean, it's got to be him or Cam Ward, I'd say at this point. All right, Saturday though, the action is big, and we're starting in Bloomington, where Indiana just beat the tar out of Nebraska. Washington doing the dreaded 2 time zone trip to IU, but only getting 6.5, and they just got blown out by Iowa recently. What gives there? Seems a little fishy to me. I'll take Washington as one of my picks, plus the 6.5.
Yeah, Rourke's going to be out for IU. He's got a thumb injury, so they're going to have their backup quarterback start this game. I'll still roll with IU, man. I think they got the positive momentum here. I think they cover that 6.5 at home.
Yeah, Casey has them as one of his picks too. So F you, Direwolf. Should have came on here trying to debate me on it. The other big game at noon. Well, there's several actually, but actually I don't think they have the times right here on DraftKings right now. But another noon game, Notre Dame at undefeated Navy, and the spread is already down to 12. But I picked Navy plus 13.5. Now Notre Dame, they didn't play last week, right? Or did they?
No, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay, well then they did not have an extra week to prepare. Oh yeah, they played Georgia Tech though.
Yeah. For
this triple option that is absolutely deadly with Horvath running the show right now, and he's ran for over 600 yards, thrown for another 800 yards and 10 tutties. Ran for 600 yards and 10 tutties. Give me Navy to win outright and keep the Army-Navy undefeated conference championship game alive.
Tough for me to pick against Navy and pick Notre Dame. So I'm not going to do it. I'll pick Navy to cover, man, and win this game.
Yes.
I like it. I got to root for something. Got to root for something good.
Oh, man.
Chaos.
Just
chaos.
Right now, if you've been picking Army and Navy, you have just been riding the money train. And I don't see a good reason to stop now because Notre Dame's not that great, I don't think. And, I mean, everybody should be on Navy on this, I feel like. And obviously the spread's already coming down. So it should be good stuff. Texas. Going to Vanderbilt. tough place to play. Ask Alabama and Texas licking their wounds after getting their butts spanked really at home. What do you think about the festivities in the fourth quarter there, Jason? I know Kirby Smart wasn't too happy.
You talking about the bottles?
Yeah, the bottles, the overturned call, 2 targetings within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean the targetings were valid. The bottles,
I
they should have got an unsportsmanlike call on the bottles. Like as most home stadiums, you get the home team gets a flag on it. They didn't. And then I've never seen a flag.
Never.
They announced it. They announced the penalty.
They moved the ball.
Yes, they moved the ball, and then they overdid it. I could see if they did it. They always do it all the time before they announce it. But after they announced it, they did. Never seen that before. That was BS. Glad Georgia won. F Texas. But I am picking Texas to cover this big spread because I picked a couple games like that. Seemed weird to me too, losing the game and going to Vanderbilt. But man, Vanderbilt's kind of struggling a little bit. I just think Texas they got the horses up front to just stop that mobile quarterback for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick. I didn't make this one of my picks, but I really wanted to pick Texas at first, and then I was like, their offense has just not looked right, and I think Bond got hurt too because he didn't play like the last few possessions of that game, and why would he not be in the game? They may be banged up a little bit, but I'll still take Texas. I'm kind of with you. I think they come back a little bit, and Vandy. I feel like everybody should be on that game, and it's not high enough. It's not moving yet, so I'll take Texas as well. Another team that took one right on the chin last week, Bama, hosting Missouri. None of us picked this game, I don't think. Bama laying 13.5 seems like a lot for a team that looks like complete ass basically since the first half of the Georgia game, and frankly most of the season besides that first half and then the entire game against Wisconsin, and that was before Wisconsin kind of figured out their identity. Seems like too much, but we've seen Missouri get blown out on the road already. They just had another it feels like every one of their games has been close except for that A&M game that they got blown out. But man, watching Jalen Milroe just be super inaccurate. Who the hell had this guy in the first round? I'll take the points, but I don't love it. That's why I didn't pick this game.
I'm not picking this. Oh man, I'll lay the points as Bama, dude. Just Missouri looks bad. They needed him cooked. He came back from the hospital and came back, and they did that to beat Auburn of all teams. I just think Bama at home. They got everything. Their season's on the line now from here on out.
Yeah, it's just an icky game. A game that's not quite as icky. Yeah, they don't have the times right on here. But LSU traveling to Kyle Field to play A&M, and that's a night game. It's an 8:00 game. 8 versus 14. And you and I both picked this game, right?
I did not. Casey probably did.
He did. We both are taking A&M, laying 2.5. It's 3 now. But LSU on the road under Brian Kelly against ranked teams has been really bad. Really good at home, really bad on the road. That's basically the whole thing I got. I think both of these teams are not great, but whoever wins has a very, very, very good shot at making the playoff now and will kind of control their own destiny, I believe, to even make the SEC championship. So which is usually an area that A&M fails in these type of games. So it's like the movable object versus the stoppable force. But I'll take A&M at home.
LSU looked good last week against Arkansas, who's kind of been stingy. I think LSU maybe is figuring some stuffs out. I'll take LSU here to kind of keep rolling, and that Death Valley matchup might be for a nice little trip.
Okay, weird line of the week, but it's the weird line every week is BYU. I can't figure it out. You can't figure it out. We both picked them last week. That's my only loss, was them not covering against a shitty Oklahoma State team. Only laying 2 at UCF, who's been blown out multiple times at home. Like Colorado beat them by like 30. Although Colorado looks kind of good right now. You have BYU. You have UCF. You're taking the weird line.
I'm doing the weird line. I took 2 of them today, so I'll just go UCF, man. Got no other reason other than it's a weird line.
Yeah, I'll take. See, every time I think I should get whatever I do think and whatever's weird, go the opposite. BYU -2. All right, another top 25 game. We forgot to do this. Number 1 Oregon, newly minted number 1 Oregon, hosting Illinois, laying 21.5 now. It was 20.5. I think it's been 21.5 most of the time, though, which is that weird line where like they're leaving the hook out there for you for Illinois. Here's that extra half point. Here's the extra half point. You should take it. 3 touchdowns. Oregon beats their ass. I'll take Oregon to win by 28. We'll say 35-7.
Yeah, man. I just Illinois does not match up well against these teams with good trench players, man. Other than Michigan, but Michigan I guess just doesn't. So yeah, I'm gonna take Oregon to beat the crap out of them and cover.
Okay, one of the games I picked here, Penn State at Wisconsin. Penn State laying 6.5, but we had it at 7 when I picked, so I'm going to give it to you as well. You have this game too?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you go first then.
Wisconsin's offense is cooking. I think they got some good stuff going there, getting back to the ground game like you mentioned earlier. Go Penn State going on the road. They might be looking ahead towards us and Wisconsin. Night game, Camp Randall. They've got something to root for. It seems like they haven't really been relevant in 5 or 6 years now. I think their fans are going to be loud for this game, and I think they beat Penn State.
Yes, I do too. I don't think they win, but I do think it's close. Penn State does not travel well. A tough road night environment. Wisconsin, like you said, they're hot right now. They're playing a lot better. Started running the ball more lately. Not that they'll be able to do that easily against Penn State, though. But I don't see Penn State. I see them doing James Franklin things on the road. Game being closer than it should. I'll take the 7 points. I think Penn State wins by like 24-20. But I mean, I'll take those 7 points.
In the last 3 games, albeit against bad competition, they've given up 16 points and they've scored 117 points. 117-13 spread over the last 3 games, Wisconsin. I don't care who that's against. That's pretty good.
And they were shit stomping on USC for the first half, and then had the bad second half. And I think that maybe like they're not as bad as they're. Even the record's not even that bad, but I think they're a pretty good team. Fickle's got it going. All right, a big rivalry game though to wrap things up for our show. F you, Michigan. Go fuck yourselves. Hard when you're not cheating, isn't it? Another loss for them last week, just racking them up. Now they're laying 5.5 against Sparty, but the Direwolf took Sparty with the 5.5 at Scum. I like that pick because Michigan State has ability. We saw it against us. They could have easily been beating us at halftime. And I think Michigan just completely stinks on offense right now. So I'll take 5.5 points against a shitty offense.
I think you got to. You can't pick Scum, man. You got to go against them.
Keep going against them. All right. I believe the Direwolf also had the under on the Notre Dame game, which kind of makes sense. But, man, Navy's freaking offense is pretty dang good.
No, I had the
not
under.
Something you usually see. So you got to kind of throw out how good Notre Dame's defense has been out the window when they're playing a team that's got this kind of weird offense.
Yeah, I had the under on Notre Dame, and I also had Kansas State -10.
Oh, yeah, you had Kansas State -10. Sorry. But, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was you I was thinking of. Sorry. Not the Direwolf. I get confused looking at my little sheet sometimes. Overall thoughts, though, about the playoff as we wrap this one up. I'm feeling better about my LSU pick, I guess, although I picked against them this week. But if they win this week, they're like practically in.
I think I heard Herb Street say, I know it's Herb Street. He doesn't know everything, but he counted up the teams, and he counted almost 40 teams that he thinks still have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs. It's the Wild West in the first year of this Wild West system that we got with the NIL bullshit and everything. So I don't know what to make of anybody right now. I think Oregon's the only team that really doesn't have a blemish on their record.
Yeah, and I think they're the only ones that I would say with almost 100% certainty they'll be in now, because it's going to take 2 massive upsets for them to not make it at this point. They don't play. They don't play Penn State, so they don't play anybody that's like a top 10 type team
They got Michigan, man. They got Michigan.
Oh, it's at Michigan too. It's at Michigan at night. I like to make jokes sometimes. Yeah, I think they're in the. I think if we can beat Penn State, we'll be into. But if we lose to Penn State, who knows? But hey, put Army and Navy in. I don't give a shit. I want to see it. You know what? I like to see it because of the diversity. I want to see the diversity of offenses. Give me the triple option in there. Give me Ashton Genty running wild for Boise State. Get the Big 12 out of there. They just stink right now, I think. If Colorado's beating people's asses and they lost by almost 3 touchdowns to Nebraska, get the Big 12 out of there. We don't need them. Give me Army Navy winner and Boise State in.
I really wish
I'm with you. This has been a very crazy year, and obviously it happens right when we start the 12-team playoff.
Yeah. I really wish, I mean, looking back on it probably 5 years from now, I wish the Big 12 would have been the one that disbanded. Texas and Oklahoma left. That was the heart and soul of that conference. The Pac-12 was such a fun, unique conference, and I really wish it just would have been split between the SEC and the Pac-12 and maybe 1 or 2 teams in the Big 10.
Yeah, we could take Missouri and Kansas or something like that. That'd have been fine.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, I probably worked out better for the Big 10, but not college football as a whole. That would have been a much better outcome because these weird cross-country rivalries now are just like terrible. Like, it feels awful watching the games right now. I think that's a part of it too. You got these weird time zone moving things that teams aren't used to still, coaches aren't used to. And the big thing is just the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks aren't sitting anymore. They're going to go somewhere they can play. So you got good guy, like everybody's got like an average quarterback. It makes a huge difference than the crap they were having to throw out there before. And
Syracuse,
like Vanderbilt, like look UNLV, they had their transfers. Like even the guy that left was a transfer. They have another transfer coming in to back them up. Like this is just the way it is. Look at Texas transfer.
too bad he lost his job though.
Miami transfer.
Yeah. Ohio State transfer.
Oregon transfer. Keep it going. Transfers. Yeah, just makes things a little bit wild out there. But we'll always be watching, and you guys can watch with us. Follow our bets there. We're about 60% on the year. Not too shabby. Not the Haas there though. He's
go against my picks. I'm fine with that. I get like 10%. That's actually good.
The anti Haas is definitely a winning strategy right now. But like, subscribe, comment, tell the Haas how much he sucks. Show us your parlays, and we will see you guys next time.
Hey guys! Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.